Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, as I'm very happy to have Heather Sims in studio with the Youth Sports Alliance, and with her, Ben Myers, who sits right next to me from Treasure Mountain Junior High School. And with him, we've got Stacy Vickery, who is part of ACTiV8 as a parent. Thrilled to have you guys here to talk about the ACTiV8 program in Treasure Mountain Junior High. Not having a lot of activities, in fact, nearly nothing after school. Which is why Heather steps right in. You're good at this, Heather. You recognize this shortcoming of the school.
Yeah. Well, we started last year with the ACTiV8 program at Ecker because there was nothing on the short release day there. And so a few parents said, okay, we
time
really...
to help us.
Yeah, time to help us here at Treasure Mountain. And in the state of Utah, there are no after-school competitive sports until grade 9.
Right.
So there has been nothing at Treasure. And so I kind of reached out to my partners and asked them, can you help me put together another program, which will be on Mondays on their early release days, and something that's appropriate for that age range, because obviously with the Get Out and Play, it's all about learning to do ski programs or mountain biking.
Sure.
ACTiV8 has grown a little bit with age, and so we've added Teen Iron Chef and some creative classes. And with Treasure Mountain, the kids there need something that they want to do, because this is the age where not only locally but nationally kids start to drop out of sports programs. And
especially our females, which is a big issue.
Exactly. And I actually sat down with about 20 kids and asked them, what would you like me to put on? If I could put on anything, what would you like? And a lot of the stuff they said was doable. And so we're reaching out to new partners. So we've got Park City Rowing Company coming to join us. We're going to do biathlon at Soldier Hollow, Photoshop, photography, disc golf, mountain biking. So some traditional type activities that the kids wanted, but also something a little off the beaten track, so to speak.
Well, I think that's a really good point to take to our friend Ben here, who is planning on participating in many of these activities. Ben, what are you interested in most?
Well, I'm probably most interested in things like mountain biking and rock climbing and stuff, because there's going to be a lot of outdoor activities, but some of those things you can't do in the wintertime, and ACTiV8 will be running in the wintertime, when you can do some of the indoor activities like the photography class or the pottery class that they're going to have. So I'm pretty interested in things like pottery and mountain biking, because those sound like a lot of fun to do after school.
Now, have you made anything in the way of clay to this point?
No, not yet. The program has not really started at all.
All right, and so at this point, hands not dirty.
No.
So we're going to try it out for the first time. Here's what I know about pottery. Don't worry if it's not symmetrical. It's never going to be perfect, Ben. Don't worry about that, okay? Just saying. And when you hook the handle on, it's really critical you use a little extra clay. Really work that handle. If you're going to make a mug for your mom, right? And that's the first thing most guys do.
Of course.
Just make sure you really get that, because the last thing you want her to do is pour coffee in it and that the cup goes. She's still holding the handle. So I'm just saying. Those are things I know from middle school. What are some of the other activities that you're excited about? You said climbing. That one's fun. Are you going to get out and row? What else do you want to try?
Yes, a rowing one would be a lot of fun to do right near the beginning and ends of school when it'd be really warm. Another one would be a lot of the indoor ones, like the Photoshop and the photography classes like that. There's going to be a lot of, it's going to be great to do things that are outdoors and indoors. And then there's also going to be a lot of sort of odd, weird ones, like the disc golf that she mentioned.
Have you mentioned some of these with your friends? Are they excited to do this with you?
Yeah, because there's really not much to do after school on Mondays, because the Treasure Mountain is really weird in that we get out.
It's a weird early day.
We get out on school early on Mondays, which makes no sense.
Yeah, if they started late, now that would make some sense.
That would be a lot better.
Right?
I wouldn't have to be up at 6 a.m.
Exactly. That would make a little more sense, because on the Friday early day, it's like you're adding to your weekend.
Exactly.
On the Monday early day, you're
it's like you get out And then what now?
What?
You just do a little bit of homework and then you sit around for a little while.
So making this a little more special.
So an after-school program on Mondays is definitely a perfect time to do that because, I mean, I know 90% of people just either they do stuff with their friends or they just go home. I mean, they really just, there's not a whole lot to do.
Games, right? Are they? Is that what they're doing?
Probably most of them.
Yeah.
Certainly me.
Yeah. So this is a good alternative for you, and you're looking forward to it, I take it.
Yep, definitely.
What, prior to this, experiences outdoors? Do you get out much?
Yeah, I like to ski, I like to mountain bike.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends who are on the rowing team. I have done a little bit of rowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see yourself out at Harvard on the sculling team? Is that in your future?
Probably not that far, but
well, let's hope. I'd like to see it. If not Harvard, I suppose Yale's okay. Just saying. But either way, getting outside and getting on the water or on the rock, a good plan in your mind.
Yep, of course.
A needed addition. And for parents, clearly this is the case, Stacey. You must feel really good about having something to fill that gap because parents don't get an early day on Mondays.
Well, and my daughter's at Ecker Hill, and her early day is Friday still.
Yeah.
But as she moved from elementary to Ecker Hill Middle, so did the YSA program. And I'm really thankful because she's not into like the ski team and those kind of big elite more sports for the kids, and so she kind of falls into this gap where there's not a lot to do. And I see a lot of kids in Ecker start to either get into the social drama with each other on their devices at home after school, or I start to see groups loitering around Redstone on skateboards and things like that.
They find hangouts.
Absolutely. So it's very nice to have a structured activity still, and there's many choices that the kids get to choose from, and it's very nurturing and supportive, and my daughter's never nervous to go. It doesn't matter if she knows who's going to be in her next session because she knows by the end she'll have a friend.
Yeah. That's pretty terrific. New friends is always a good plan. You gotta like that part of this, right?
Of course, yeah.
Right?
Hanging out with people after school and just doing fun things.
Wow, this is awesome. I'm really, as always, I'm super impressed with really everything you've done when it comes to these after-school programs. I think they're so needed.
Thank you.
Talk to me about the reaction you're getting, obviously from students. Terrific. Parents.
Yep.
Great too. What about the school?
The schools have been extremely supportive, both at Ecker and now at Treasure, in trying to bring something. They know it was needed, and I think realistically, I'm the hub. I've been the person that I've been able to get the venues and then talk to the school and say, look, can we use these facilities? And Ecker this year, being the first year, we had 278 registrations, and of those, 44 were scholarshiped.
Wow. That's important because there's so many kids who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity at all.
Exactly. And so one of the things, though, that I find the hardest is actually communicating what is available to the parents, because I can communicate to the kids, but then it's getting the kids to get it to the parents and then back again.
We can't get them to take a note home. They're always afraid.
I know, exactly. So that was one of the things that when I talked to the Treasure kids, I was like, how can I tell everybody that these programs are available? And so the idea that they came up with is actually getting some student ambassadors.
Okay.
So I think that is probably the way we're going to try and move the program forward at the school and get them to communicate, like Ben, hey, this is going on Monday and you want to join me type thing. So that has been great. So the school district, for Ecker this year, I used 16 different partners to put the programs together, for-profit, non-profit, and the education and departments, and everybody has been really supportive. They know this age group needs activities, but they just couldn't figure out how to put it together.
Well, it takes some planning, and it takes someone who can pull those different departments. Because individually, how do you do it on your own? You got to have somebody there that's kind of the that's heading it up. That's sort of the king of the whole thing, or queen in your case. You're taking care of it.
Yeah, but the good thing is, I just a little plug, we have been nominated for one of the finalists for the Women's Giving Fund.
Oh, wow.
It's a $25,000 grant if we get it. And so anybody out there that is a member of the Women's Giving Fund, if you consider voting for us, then that will help us take it to Treasure and put the programs together. One of our biggest costs is transportation. And so, you know, we can put some other programs together that would involve transportation and would help these kids.
A big thing. Let me use my massive influence here to help you with that, because we've helped the Women's Giving Fund get started right here in this program, and I have to say that my very favorite program here in Park City is the Youth Sports Alliance, because when I was a kid these options weren't available, and so many young people have gone on to become Olympic athletes thanks to the Youth Sports Alliance. There's opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't have, and frankly, for Women's Giving Fund, it just makes good sense, because moms often have the issue of dealing with children after school. That pretty much almost entirely.
Yeah.
So in this case, it makes so much sense with a Monday early day, as you said. Kind of weird for sure, but now filling the gap with the Youth Sports Alliance. If people want more information and we want those parents to know about it, where do they go?
They go to ysaparkcity.org.
All right. Well, I want to
you.
thank you all for being here very much. Final chance, anybody you want to say hi to while you're on television?
Hi, Mom.
That's a good choice, my friend. Well done. All right. Good. Any buddies? You can say hi to a couple buddies.
No, I don't think anybody's up yet.
Okay. Yeah. The buddies are still in bed. Makes good sense. We've got a lot more coming up here in the Mountain Morning Show. But again, if you are part of the Women's Giving Fund, I'd sure like to see these guys get it, and so would Heather Sims and so many young people. So there's a thought there, as they are finalists with that grant. Much more to come here on the Mountain Morning Show. You'll want to stay tuned to that right after this.